Okay. Sorry about
That's okay. Just a little side route.
that. Right, right. Oh man. Okay, y'all. Sorry about the late time, but I had some technical difficulties. So I would like to introduce my guest, Felicia Peterson. How you doing today?
Good. I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Trying to do better.
That's every day, I think.
Yes, 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 yes. It was getting
We've been
frustrated. It was getting frustrated. So yeah, I know we're running a little late, but I appreciate your patience. I apologize once again. Before we start this podcast, I just like to just pray before we do this. So bow our heads. Yes, Father. Thank you, Father, for allowing us to do this podcast, and I pray you speak to us through this podcast, and I pray this podcast help everybody else tonight, and I pray you protect and look over all of us, and I pray this be a great show. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so yeah, I got to know you a little bit. You told me, you went into a little detail about your what you went through and all that. So let me ask you a question. Like, what's your definition of mental health, like in your own words?
In my own words, I would say just having clarity in your mind every day and feeling good without obstacles in a way. I think the obstacles, I think with depression and anxiety, I think there's just obstacles in your head. Whether you're dealing with something like a loss and it's a temporary depression that you
Mm-hmm.
can get through, or something like an illness, like which is more what I have, where it's just this constant battle to get clarity and
Mm-hmm.
clear the obstacles, kind of get through the weeds.
Okay, okay. I love that. I love that. So tell me, tell me a time where it's like you was in a dark place and you had to get yourself out of it, and how did you get yourself out of it?
Whew. Um, Probably a few years ago, just boy, dark place, having a really hard time getting out of bed and staying awake. I just wanted to sleep. I didn't want to face anything. I tell people it's almost like I was physically disabled. I could not move myself from the couch,
Mm-hmm.
and I just could not see light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I finally got to the point where I was on medication, but uh, it wasn't working. I mean, I was on four different medications, and I kept seeing something on Facebook about a, s- a treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, you know what, something has to give, because I'm on all these medications, nothing's working, I can't function, and I think this was 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and I called the number, and it was a lot of red tape, I would say, to get to the treatment, but it's called TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it, there's magnets on your brain in certain parts. The machine kind of puts it when they're doing it, it's almost like a tapping, like tap, 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 but it's a certain method that they use. And I went through it for about 4 months, and it was 5 days a week almost. And it started at like 10 minutes a day and ended like an hour a day. And by the time I was done, I was easing up off my medicines and feeling great, which was incredible. I had not been able to see straight for a long time. And I just was able to start getting back to life again, slowly but surely. And then I think I ended up on just one medication for a long time, for several years. I was on one of the medications, one of the four, and I was on the lowest dose. So um, I'm not going to say there's not days where I struggle, because there are days, and it's a lot, but every day is a battle, and I'm just trying to fill my time with positivity. And I have a lot of people around me that kind of support me, I guess you could say. And I have some wonderful women in my life that have helped me uh, kind of stay focused. And yes, I do. I think prayer has tremendously impacted my mental health,
Mhm.
probably because I ask for the help. I think that matters. I think you have to tell God what you want.
Yes, yes. Okay, man. That is awesome. Yeah, because every people don't know. Y'all gotta excuse my life. I had a background, but I had technical
It's
issues,
okay.
but yeah, people don't know like you being able to like recognize, that tells you about a lot about yourself because as soon as you recognize something about yourself and and you're like willing to do something about it, that's called, it's perseverance. Not
Yeah.
many can take the pressure and fold on the pressure, so it's a
Well,
reason
they
why you.
don't want to admit they even have depression. I'm like, wait, it's not a bad word.
It's not at all. It's really not at all. So yeah. So your support system, like where you think you would be if like you didn't have that.
I I I can't even picture. I can't even think about it. It's and the support kind of grew. I mean, I have support within my own family. My husband is great. I mean, he could always be better, but he's never like been somebody who criticizes me for having depression, or like doubts me or makes me feel like it's all in my head and I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. He's always been like gentle and supportive in that way. And I think the women's groups that I've gotten to be part of, and the friendships that I've had, they kind of slowly evolved. Um, it started with a group of women that I started having coffee with over 10 years ago. And then I kind of realized then how important it was to have women in your life, women supporting women, men supporting men. I know my husband's had some times too where I'm like, you need to go talk to some guys. You need some men friends.
Hmm.
You like, we need that. We need people in our corner that can just hold us up when we're not able to do it on our own. And then most recently, there was a faith-based women's group that it's actually a nonprofit. And I just, wow, it has helped me so much. And there's a lot of reading scripture, but it is a lot of how to take steps. You are worthy. You are, you're God's child. God doesn't want you being depressed and miserable. He wants the best for your life. And how do you take steps to get there? How do daily affirmations, which I still don't do very well, but I mean, it's just the thought of looking in the mirror and saying, you're enough. You are enough. You are worthy. You are wanted. The world needs you. The world is a better place because you're in it. There was one time, I've never been a suicidal person ever. There was a short period of time where I was thinking the world was better without me. And I'm glad that time passed. But boy, that is some aggressive feelings and emotions that, man, if you're in that place, you've got to pick up the phone, and you can't think twice. You have to pick up the phone. You have to grab all your people and get your people around you. And um, even if they're people you don't know, like from a distance, like I've connected with people in other states that I've not met in person. And it's friendships can come from anywhere. And that support is, it's just so important. You really cannot fight mental health on your own. You just absolutely cannot. It is not a one man show. Um, you have to have people in your corner. Your therapist is just a tool in your tool belt. Your psychiatrist is basically just there for the meds. um, they don't get into the deep feelings of anything. So if you're just seeing a psychiatrist, you need to see a psychologist. And I got to the point where I was seeing a psychologist and they were like, well, we're done. You don't have any like deep seated childhood trauma that needs to be dealt with that we haven't already dealt with. So we're kind of done. And I was like, okay. And I haven't gone back to therapy, but only because of the the women's groups that I have. And the waking up every day and looking at my husband knowing, okay, he's got me. I'm okay. But if I didn't have that, I would absolutely be in therapy 100%. And I don't know how it is across the rest of the world, but here in California, we have like a massive shortage of therapists. Like you can call, and I think the last time I called, the waiting list was full, and they weren't taking any new people for like 4 more months, and that was one phone call out of 9, and the rest of them weren't taking new patients for the foreseeable future. I was like, what? How are we doing this? So we know we have a lot more online platforms now. So I haven't tried to get therapy in a while, but I feel like it's probably a little bit easier right now just because we have, I can't think of the names of them, but I just saw an ad for one not too long ago. Um, but I feel like that helps more people because we can do, I mean, like right now we're talking and we're in different states, and I see my psychiatrist through Zoom. So I feel like we have more options now because we're not limited to our local area for therapy.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
helps. But therapy, I just don't know how anybody can do it without therapy and a crew of people, like people in their corner, friends and family. And um, just you got to have people in your corner. And I think I had a huge advantage where I think I mentioned my mom had bipolar disorder, and I
Mhm.
just remember growing up with her in that state, and it's a lot. And back then, bipolar wasn't even a word. Back in the
Mhm.
'80s and the '90s, that was just not even something that was being treated.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you this. So from the girls group, you said y'all did scriptures. Like, what was one of your scripts, favorite scriptures from the girls group?
Oh boy. Oh, there's so many. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, there's so many good ones. Oh
Just pick
Lord.
one of your favorites. One of your favorites. No pressure.
Oh. Oh,
If you see me moving this iPad around, I'm trying to find better lighting. When we go on a little break,
okay. I
I'm
gotta.
gonna light.
I need a second. I'm like I'm terrible with scriptures, and I shouldn't be, but I am. Um, there it is. Ah, oh, there's. It wasn't too long ago that I had one that. See, this is. Oh, here we go. Nope. So James 1:12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. It's like you're here and you have to persevere, you have to push through. But well, how do you do that? I have to laugh because honest to God, the Bible is an instruction manual, and it's pretty darn good. There is amazing scripture. I'll just read something one day and it'll impact me so much more than it did, the week before.
Mhm.
It just, there's so many things that just every day come up, and I'm like, wow, like this book has stood the test of time. Like, this stuff was valid 100 years ago and it's valid today. That's wild to me. Um, and I feel like when you say my favorite scripture, I don't have one.
Many.
I do. And what my favorite thing is every day you can have a new one that just comes up,
Mhm.
and it just speaks to you, and it's so relevant for what you're dealing with right then and there. And when you go to
Mhm.
church, sometimes you sit down and you're just like, oh, this is about my life. Well, this is the same book. We've had it for hundreds of years, and the scriptures are just there. And I don't think we give God enough credit for giving us the instructions. I mean, but then there's people that say, well, why did he give us mental health issues? Why did he give us depression? Well, he didn't. Man did that. But we have to be accountable to ourselves to heal and to push through and persevere and function every day. I help people in something completely different than mental health, but I help people for a living. That's what I do.
So
Um,
let's touch on that. Like like I said, I got to know you a little bit. I know what you do. Like, remind them, like, what do you do?
I'm what's a Medicare broker, so I sell Medicare plans. But my focus is the education, is educating people that are turning 65 and helping them find the right health plan for them, and for their budget, for their needs,
Hmm.
the area that they live in, because it's different from one place to the next, and navigating the medical groups and the doctors and the different specialists, mental health included.
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm helping people in that aspect. And it's like, there's other people that help me with my mental health, so that I need to be here, because there's not enough people for the number of people turning 65 that need that information, that don't know. They're literally at home and they're stuck with the internet or the television or the radio, and the ads are just very deceiving. And it's unfortunate, but they don't get accurate information. And
Hmm. Yeah,
that's
I
my
feel like
job.
because I told you I was a life insurance agent, so most like half of these agents, they try to just throw your plan so they can get money,
Yep.
the commission, so they can get paid.
Yep.
Like you say, you got to educate them, to help them understand. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it blows my mind that there's so many people out there scamming the way they are, because the one-on-one commission for just scamming somebody is it's not enough money to,
Hmm.
like, make that big of a difference. Like, I can't imagine hurting somebody in that way for
Hmm.
that dollar amount. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if you have thousands of people, then obviously it's a lot more money, but I just can't believe, how does anybody do that with a conscience, to hurt that whole demographic of people with for a paycheck. It blows me away. But I mean, I know it's happening, but um I just want to protect, and I guess you could say protect, because I want to protect as many people as I can by getting them the right information. Um that's kind of a battle between my husband and I, because I'm like, well, you don't make money educating. I'm like, yeah, well, eventually I will. But I I only make money when I write an insurance plan and I get paid by the carrier. So nobody ever pays me, just the carriers pay me. But I feel like it's reciprocity, I think, is when you're just out there educating the people and you're doing the right thing, the income will come eventually. And that's,
That's
I understand, not everybody can be in that boat, but I'm in that boat, and I may be paddling, but I don't care. I don't care. I just want to do the right thing for the right people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I applaud that because, like I said, I never, I only had life insurance license, but yeah, I've learned like through different companies, through different people. It's like it can be a dirty game with agents that just trying to throw you plans. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people don't understand. If you do people wrong, it's a God above.
Yeah.
It's a God above you. It's karma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Well, and they take the money back anyway. If the policy cancels within a certain period of time, the carrier takes the money back from you. And I'm like, so that it's just stupid. It's a stupid way to commit fraud and do bad but things by people.
Exactly. Exactly. So touch on base, like like when you hang out with your friends and all that, like how often does that help your mental? Have you ever had like a when you went out with your friends and like you going through something, you ever had like a mental breakdown in like public?
I don't know. I think that when I am out and around with a group of people or with the support is usually when I'm feeling better.
Better?
I
Okay.
think the being around the people is what makes you feel good, and then it's more of actually it that's more healing than anything. But I have never had an incident in public. I mean, there's so many people that are like, you deal with depression and anxiety. I'm like, yeah, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not afraid to talk about it, because I know there's somebody out there that is afraid to talk about it and could be standing right next to me. And I want to shout to them that it is okay and there is help for them. And you don't have to, there's not a certain look, there's not a certain behavior, that there's nothing specific that says, I have depression written across your forehead. And there's no way for somebody to help you if they don't know, if they don't know. And it's no different than any other disease, heart disease, cancer, diabetes. It's you have to be treated. You have to be treated. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're standing next to somebody that needs help, I want to shout it from the rooftops that I'm standing right next to you, and I will link arms with you, and I will help you through this. And I know it's not always easy. My God, do I know it's not easy. But talking through things, it helps. Being with somebody and just talking, and going out and having a cup of coffee, it can make a difference. It really does. It can set up, when we went through COVID, oi, that was hard, because everybody was so excluded. We were all home alone, and I struggled through COVID really bad. Um, just because there was so much time home alone. And even now, I do work mostly from home, but I will notice if I don't have like events lined up or appointments lined up, and I'm just straight at home constantly, and it goes on for like a week or two, and I haven't been out, I'm like, oh, I definitely feel like I need connection. It's who I am. It's how I'm made. And without it, it really gets in my head, and I've got to clear the weeds and get through that clarity in my brain. I need help, and I got to get out.
Okay, yeah, because the reason why I asked if you ever had a breakdown while you was out with friends, because some people suffer from social anxiety,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and you know what I'm saying, they be out around a lot of crowds, and because I don't talk to many quite a bit of people that suffer from that, and that's a big thing. That's why I asked you, but that's good that what I'm saying, that you're calm, that
That's
you know.
more my anxiety side. I don't do like concerts. Um, I can't be in a room.
Okay.
I can't be in like the tight. shoulder to shoulder, tons of people. Um, I don't
Okay.
do that's an anxiety attack right there, big time. Um,
But you
it,
know that
it
they also can like, so
trigger
like
trigger.
anxiety anxiety can also, mess with your comeback, mess with your mental. So,
Absolutely. I don't
hmm
do malls either. I don't like being in like an indoor mall. I don't like, I get that whole closed in and all the stores are like, I can do an outdoor mall, no problem, because you go in the store, you come out and it's outside. But if you're in a mall, an inside mall, and you come out of a store and you're still inside, I do get anxiety from that, and I feel that pressure on my chest of the anxiety. I don't think I act out, but I'll look at my husband like, I got to get out of here. Like I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to like have physical reactions, and I can't breathe. I can feel myself starting to hyperventilate. And he's like, "Okay, we're getting out of here."
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause, some people take that home with them and like bring it
Hmm.
home, and they done mess up their whole day and they mental. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like now it's like, okay, oh, I need to shop online now. I don't want to ever
yeah.
get out.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like I don't I've been to the mall probably twice in 10 years, and
Ooh.
I don't go. Um, I'll do outdoor malls or whatever. I'm not a big shopper anyway, but of course we have
Mhm.
Amazon now, so everything's on Amazon. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm not a big shopper. I'm an in and out. Even if I am shopping in the store, I'm get in, get out, get in, get out. I'm not a loitery kind of person. I don't do that retail therapy thing that some women do. I like my environment.
yeah. Your
And
own
shopping
space.
isn't it.
Okay, that's understandable. That's understandable.
Hmm.
So I would like to go on like a little 2 minute break, and I'm gonna get better lighting in here. I didn't want to turn my ceiling fan light on, but I feel like it's gonna be too bright, but I'm gonna have to. I don't like this dark. I'm gonna ask you some more questions. So
Okay.
these little 2 minute break. Give me one
Okay.
second. All right. Okay. I guess we can start right now. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and start right now. Like how your husband, like how is he able to help you through your depression besides your therapist?
I think just being he's not like it's not any kind of extraordinary moves or anything like that. I think just his general demeanor about it of not being critical. I've seen um how some people deal with their spouses that have depression. I'm like, holy moly, how do you do that? Because they're very critical, they're judgmental. and they're constantly criticizing. Well, I would not do well in that environment. I've been in that environment before. I've been married and divorced when I was young, and then married again when I was young, and that was 34 years ago. But the fact that he is not, he just is not a judgmental person. So he is very supportive and loving, and um, he does ask me, "How are you doing? How's your day?" And just being, I think, just being present and not being a jerk. Like there are people out there that are just
Too
mean,
many. Hmm.
and I don't know. I'm like, my mom, I knew, I feel like her husband killed her because she needed support, and she needed somebody to help her regulate her medications and stuff, and he didn't do
Hmm.
that. Well, she died. Like she lay down, took a nap, and she died. Like she was over medicated. Like she was, were you helping her? And I was constantly talking to her about that, and he didn't have anything to do with her medications. And half the time I would talk to her, and she didn't know if she took her meds, and or she would double up on her meds or go days without taking her meds. I'm like, you can't do that. If you have somebody that is dependent on their medication, especially with like bipolar disorder, you need to be helping them. You need to be watching. And I feel like if I was ever in that situation, my husband would be in charge of my meds. Like he would not be just flippant about it. He would be helping me. Um, but I feel like he just knows when I'm not good, and he's just he's a positive rather than a negative in my life, and that is, I think, a big deal. And I there have been times when that wasn't the case, and I've told him, I'm like, I can't handle that kind of negativity. You're just a downer, a Debbie Downer all the time, and I can't do that. Like I already struggle with depression. I need you to not be a Debbie Downer. Um, and he heard it. Like I said, it's nothing overtly extravagant or anything like that. It's just who he is. Um, which thank God we met each other, because he's my the yin to my yang, and it works because he's very supportive and loving and affectionate. He's not somebody that's pushes me away. Um, and I know there's other relationships out there that struggle with things like that. And we have never had any of that. Um, no abuse of any kind, or
Good.
I don't even think we really fight much. He gets mad at me sometimes, but he gets over it. I get mad at him sometimes, but we get over it. We move on. It's
That's a
nothing that is
marriage
so.
couple.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm really, really grateful for my husband. It's,
That's
I
good.
don't, my first husband, he was not equipped to deal with a lifetime of mental health issues, even if it was, he didn't get exposed to it for very long. We only knew each other like 2 years. So he didn't get much of a chance, but, um,
So, first, I would like to say I'm sorry, about your mom. Sorry to hear that. I know that's been tough, what I'm saying, dealing with your depression, what I'm saying. So my condolences. But I'm glad that, she's still with you in spirit. And I'm glad
yeah.
that I'm glad that your husband, like, when he caught on to, like you say, he had his moments where he was like, kind of like, he felt like he was a jerk. What was how many times was it until he finally got him like, okay, let me stop doing this to you?
I feel like anytime I've ever told him that, this is not working, this attitude or anger that you're holding on to, or anything like that, he's like immediately, almost immediately made a correction. Like he's never, like if he knows something is just really hurting me, he will make a change. Um
Okay. Do you feel like it's because you kind of like train his mind to do that?
Probably, probably. 34 years is a long time.
Oh, so that's how
So
long y'all been married? Okay, so how when did y'all meet? Like, how old was y'all when y'all met?
I was 20
20. Okay,
and
okay, okay.
divorced, and I had a 1 year old and he had a 4 year old. And I was
Oh,
20 and he was 31.
so how long? Like, okay, when y'all first met, like, how long did it take to be like, okay, I want to marry this person? Like,
A few months, August, September, October, 3 months. He told me he wanted to marry me, but he
what
had a
made you?
couple. Um, he had a couple glitches to deal with before we got married. But
A few months. That's pretty quick. Like, what made you
oh
say
yeah,
yeah?
I had been dating quite a bit since I had been divorced. It took me a while to get back out there again, but when I did, I was like, I'm out. I'm dating. I liked being married. My first husband and I definitely were not a match. And we had an amazing daughter. I loved being married. I absolutely wanted to be married again. I did not enjoy being single. I was dating a lot. He met me because I had my work uniform on when I went to the grocery store where we met, and he asked somebody else that worked with me if she knew me and if I was single, and she kind of laughed like, yeah, she's single. She's dating a lot. and and it took me a
Yeah.
while to go in and finally meet him, but I did, and we went on our first date that day, and we we've been together ever since.
Where did he take you?
A Mexican restaurant called Don Jose's. And I don't know why we went all the way to a city called Riverside, which is like a 30-minute drive from where we live. Like, there are plenty of restaurants local, but he took me 30 minutes away. Um, and then
You
the
love it?
next, huh?
Did you love it?
Oh, yeah, we had a great time. And the next day we got together. With my mom and her boyfriend and his daughter and my daughter, and we went to the lake because I lived in a lake community. And then the next day after that, we went to his grandma's house and met his mom and his grandma at Chuck E. Cheese with our girls. So we met each other's parents respectively, like in the first two dates. So, or
Mhm.
the second and third date. So it all happened very, very fast.
Wow. It happened fast, but you know what I'm saying? How many years you said again y'all been together?
It's 34, yeah.
34. That's right.
34. We've been together 34. We've been married 29. Next year will be 30 years married. So this year was 29. We got married on the anniversary of our first date, which was August 16th. Um, and so we just had our anniversary, but it's the anniversary of our first date and our wedding.
Okay. And you
So
say your anniversary was when? I'm sorry.
August 16th. So just a couple weeks ago.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, man. So 34 years. So, this day and age, it's like marriage is hard, but like
Oh,
how y'all were able to like to really I know this is a mental health podcast, but at the same time, it's like I ask the same question like off the topic, but well, how tell them how you was able how y'all was able to keep it together for that long, like
a lot of patience, a lot of patience, because he came with some baggage. I mean, I did
yeah.
too. I had a 1 year old and he had a 4 year old, and
Hmm.
oi, I mean, and there's so much more. Oi. But I think just I think when you love somebody that deeply, like you find your person. Um, he doesn't remember it, but I'm like, dude, we spent the first like 2 weeks just up all night talking. Like, you don't talk that much. Like, but we spent that much time. We talked a lot, and
You
it
brought
was
that out of
just
him, though.
Yeah. Like he was done after 2 weeks of talking all night. He was just done. He didn't have anything more to say, apparently, because he really is. He's not a big talker. But we literally talked about everything. We wanted the same things, like our dreams, our goals. Everything was like the same. And I had an ex-husband, he had an ex-wife. We kind of had that template of what we didn't want, and we talked about that like thoroughly. And then we also talked about what we wanted for our future, what we wanted for our kids,
Yeah.
and what we liked. Like, where do you want to go on vacation? Like, what types of things do you like to do? And we were just on the same page. And I had been with somebody that spent a lot of time in a bar before him, and I did not want that at all. And he was just never like he always came home to me. He wasn't gonna get off work and go hang out at a bar. Like that was just not his cup of tea. He, even when I think it was 1994, like 2 years after we had been together, he tried being a truck driver, and it was like a tri-state truck driver thing, California, Arizona, Nevada type thing. And and we didn't have cell phones back then, and he would call me from the payphone, and he's like, I hate this. I want to be home with you and the girls. Like, I hate being out here. I'm sleeping in a truck by myself when you and the girls are home alone. I hate this. And he did not last in that job. And I think that's me too. I'm a family person. I wasn't really raised by my dad, but my dad is like that too. He's very much a family man. And I'm like, when I did get to know my dad, I was like, how did I get that from you when you didn't even raise me? He's very much like that. And my mom is not like that. My mom was a wild child. She cheated on every man she was ever with and just ruined every relationship she ever had. And I just can't even with that. I'm like, ugh, no, it just blows my mind because, like I said, and I think I got everything out of him in that first 2 weeks. And at 3 months, when he said, I want to marry you, I looked at him and I was like, are you serious? And he's like, I am. It's like, okay. And then it took 5 years to actually get married because we couldn't get everything together. So we ended up getting married in Laughlin at the river, and did not have a big ceremony, didn't even have our girls there. Um, so,
Did
but
y'all have like a reception party?
not really. we went
Like
he
you
went
went straight to
gambling.
the honeymoon?
We were there for the honeymoon. We went to we were at the Riverside Resort, and I can't remember the name of there's a bar there. I would know it if I heard the name of it, but there was a little bar and dancing. There was dancing and stuff. So I think that's kind of where we all ended up. But it was close to the roulette table. My husband loves playing roulette. So, and he's really good at roulette and wins a lot at roulette. So
So,
that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
and no, I'm gonna have to bring you back as a guest, like a second time, because you know what I'm saying, I love your energy. You know what I'm saying. That's what I want to do with my guests. Like, I thought about bringing them back. Like one time, like, I love your energy. I'd like to bring you back again.
Well,
Uh,
I thank you. But I do think your marriage is your biggest relationship, and if you've got mental health issues, you cannot be married to the wrong person. Your person needs to understand. And this, I think he knew about my mom, but we didn't know I was going to deal with this at the level that I've dealt with it. I mean, I think I had depression when I was in um, a teenager, and through my first marriage, but I didn't get diagnosed till I was in my mid 20s. I was 25, 26 years old. Well, no, I think 26 or 27. So that all happened after. But again, if you're not with the right person, it's not going to work. It's not.
so I got a question. I got a question. So have your husband had like a breakdown when you had to like deal with his mental health?
Mm-mm,
Oh, so he never had no like mental health issue. Like
mm-mm.
he
I
had
think
just kind of
he,
keep it going.
I think he does deal with some certain level of
He just
depression, but he's never going to deal with it. He's a man. He's never going to deal with it. And I've told him that I think he needs, a little
Okay.
help, but he's never had any issues, like
So,
major.
so I mean, how does okay? So when he does go through that, like, how does he really deal with it? Like he
He's
shakes it
quiet.
off. He's
He's
quiet.
quiet,
Shuts down.
which
See,
is 900% of men.
see, I ain't gonna lie, that's my problem. Like, I shut down communication, and that can break or hurt. That can make or break relationships.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I realized that, that hurted my relationships with people to this day. You know what I'm saying? Then help me get deal with help me get away with bad relationships. You know what I'm saying? But more with like had me kind of like mess up my good relationship. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
feel like I had a good relationship with other people, so I'm still working on it. My
Yeah.
communication, because it's easy to shut down when you're depressed and you shut out the world. Like, it's easy because you don't want to deal with nobody. But like you
No.
said, you got to have that support system. You know what I'm saying? So thank God you got the support system, that
Yeah.
husband of yours.
Yeah. Well, and
He
I've
did that.
told him before to go out, go have a beer, do whatever. Just go sit with a guy friend and just talk. Like, you don't have to talk about your feelings, but just go socialize and be in the company of other people, because I feel like when you are in the company of other people and you start hearing their stuff and their life and what they're going through,
Yeah,
you don't know how that's going to help you. And
yeah,
one thing that they say could open the door for you to say something that you need to get off your chest,
yeah,
and that opportunity is not there if you do not give it a chance. Like, if you don't ever go socialize with other people, you're never going to have the opportunity to explore the side of yourself that is kind of repressed depression type feelings.
yeah. Because I feel like it's times where it's like it helps you when you isolate yourself, but at the same time, when you go out with different people, you did meet with different people, you never know who you run into. So I see
Yep.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
You
I,
know,
I tell my daughter that all the time. I'm like, you don't want to, you say you don't want a relationship, but we all need a person. And I'm like, you can't be in a relationship with somebody if you're not out there meeting people. I'm like,
that,
even if
that,
you go on a dating app and just meet people for coffee, I don't care if you meet 5 different people a week going out for coffee. You just, like, do it. Go out and talk to people. You have no idea. The one of those 5 people that you go out and have coffee with could be the person, their best friend could be your person. You
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Your key, yeah. You said their best friend, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like, they're not your person, but their best friend might be, or their brother, or their sister, or whatever. Like, you don't know where your person is if you're sitting at home doing nothing but working. There's people out there that's how they do. They work and they come home, and they work and they come home. I'm like, your person's out there and you are not giving them the opportunity to find you. So
Hmm.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
you're not gonna find them sitting at home. I mean, on
yeah,
the internet we can find a lot of things, but
yeah.
hopefully not our soulmate.
Mhm. No, I mean, because like that's my thing. Like, I'm all about, like, it's times I'm all about coming home, going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home. But it's like you said, I go out, give me a beer or whatever, go out by myself, go out to eat and all that. I might not socialize with somebody, and every now and then I might, like I used to, at a bar, talk to somebody and all that. You know what I'm saying? I told myself I want to get out more. Since what I'm doing, my podcast and everything else, you go to networking events. You know what I'm saying? Because like they
Yep.
said, your network is your network. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think
So,
I have like 6 networking groups that I'm part of, 6 or 7. Like, it's a
yeah,
lot, but
and I,
they're
mhm,
great people.
and I told myself I need to get out here more. You know what I'm saying? I'm antisocial. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm very anti, so I don't like to be around a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But I told myself I need to be out here more because I had closed off dating for a little bit. And I'm like, I'm okay, let me open myself back up. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna be aware, you know what I'm saying? So my problem was it's like there ain't nothing wrong with going home, coming home from work, chilling and enjoying your space a lot of times. But times you got to get out there if you really want to. If you want to date or if you want your business to take off, you got to network. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
You can't be a secret. You can't be a secret agent.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah. So I told myself like like people be telling me he's like, damn, like I see you hitting different restaurants up. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting out there more, even if it's starting like eating by yourself, and then taking people that that your friends with you out to eat and all that, and then y'all go to this other place, you know what I'm saying? And then a person might see you like I'm doing this podcast, right? So
Uh-huh.
if I get out more, people are like, "Oh, I done seen you on YouTube." You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is Shy. Hey man, let's connect. You never know, like you
Yep.
said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You cannot be a secret agent. You got to be out there and talking
Yeah,
about what you're doing. I mean, that's how you're going to find the people that you're going to have on your show.
that's facts. That's facts. So, and this my thing. I was like, I kind of gave up because okay, I did a regular post on my Facebook. Nope, I ain't had no really comments or anything like that. But when I post in that podcast group, you, other people,
Yeah.
I'm talking, I had like 50 plus people coming. I still got a lot of
Wow.
people. Like, I'm interested. I'm interested. It took
Wow.
that one post for me to get here with you.
Wow.
And then it took this, other people for me to, do the intros and stuff like that. And I got another show tomorrow at 8
That's
p.m.
awesome.
with this pastor lady. So I gave up. I'm like, let me just post it on this podcast. Okay, whatever. And turned out it came to be 60 plus people coming in. I'm
Wow.
interested.
That's
Like you said,
amazing.
yeah, it was just that podcast group. So if it wasn't for you and the other people, I wouldn't be here right
That's
now.
awesome.
I appreciate you and everybody else.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, and that's the thing is we just keep learning. Every day we do something and if it doesn't work, we try again tomorrow. And and that's how we just keep going and refining what we're doing. And this was the right time. Obviously, if upwards of 60 people responded, that's a big deal. That is a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like I love it. That's amazing. And I just like I said, I want to get the word out to the person standing next to me that is dealing with depression and struggling, and like it looks like all of us. It doesn't discriminate at all. And we all just have to link arms and make it more accessible for people to talk about. Like,
exactly.
yep.
Because if I can like build from one person in this room to build to like 10 plus people in this room,
Yeah.
when, when I get this thing taken off, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I want us to be united. Like I said, my goal for this podcast is for us to, we have a bad day and all that. For us to come together, make each other feel better, vent, you know what I'm saying? No judgment zone because I said it. I don't want to get emotional about it, but I said it before I did my podcast. It was this one person that reached out to me, uh, trying to see how I'm doing. All that, I'm off in my own world. My bad communication. I think I spun it back to him a little bit. He, he, and then he responded back to me, and I didn't respond back. Next thing I'm saying rest in peace to him. You know.
Oh man.
Yes. So I
Wow.
still feel bad in the back of my mind and my heart that if I could have reached out, just sent him that little text, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even bro, we want to link up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he would still be here. I still feel bad.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's just it. You've got to reach more people and just making it accessible and acceptable to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And sharing how you're dealing with things, it's like, yeah, we can we can share ideas, and we can work together on figuring out solutions on what's going to work to get you through tomorrow. I mean, I got in a funk a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I need to, every morning, no matter what, I've got to exercise. Like, I'm not good at leaving the house and going to the gym. I need to do it right here at home. It doesn't have to be a long time, 10, 15 minutes. I need that. It's your brain, the serotonin in your brain, and I need that. Like, I already know that I have a depression it's not temporary, it's staying here. So it's a chemical imbalance in my brain, and if serotonin is what I need every morning to keep going, then that's what I have to do. Is it doesn't I don't have to go jogging, but I have to, lift some weights or do some things to to make myself better. And
Mm-hmm.
we all need that. We have to do the things that help us do better. And I know how hard it is. I Boy, do I know how hard it is. I've been stuck in the bed, stuck on the couch, and not been able to get up. But there are things you can do to help yourself. But you
Yeah.
have to reach out to people. You need help.
Yeah. And then, and then the other time, you gotta, you understand that, when you did reach out to other people, you got disappointed a lot. So it's like kind of put you in a
Yeah,
bubble. Who else can I reach out to? So you got to be very aware, and it puts you in an isolation bubble. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You see, and you don't want to push everybody out, but you don't want to hurt yourself at the same time. Trying to reach out, and people, you feel like you're getting judged. So it just being aware,
absolutely.
being aware. So no, because it was times like I was suicidal. You know what I'm saying? I just
Mhm.
never pulled that trigger. I
Yeah, it
never did.
is such a dark place. Oh my gosh. You know, I beg people, if you're ever feeling that way, you've got to pick up the phone. You just have to. It's such a dark place. Man, it scared me when I was there. That scared me. And I know that there's people that deal with it for years, and
Yeah,
it is dark. It is very, very dark there.
yeah. You've been there. And it's like you just off in your darkness. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to talk. It's like you said. It was times like lately. Like I woke up. I'm like, what I'm here for? Why am I existing? What I'm born here for? Like I don't. I'm waking up to work like in a bad mood. Like I'm drinking the night before. It's like, what's my purpose of being here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But now
You,
look at you. You've got 60 people responding to do this podcast, and this podcast can reach literally millions of people and help somebody with their mental health journey. I mean, that right there, there's your answer.
yeah,
And if this doesn't turn into that, then it's the stepping stone to what will turn into that. Like, it's like, you can't ever give up. You have to keep going. You have to persevere and just keep. Everything is a lesson in how to do it better.
no, and that's and this brand that I'm about to launch and never give up. I've been sitting on this for months, like years, like and like you
Wow.
said, yeah, for years. It's like you said, I have my moments and like I'll be like, well, while I'm here with my purpose, then I think about it, I'm like, this could really be something, you know what I'm saying? Like
It
when
does.
I think deep about it, I'm like, man, I can help really millions of people. You know what I'm saying? Because the money's gonna come. The money's gonna come, but
Yeah.
it's like importantly, like like I said in one like my little slogan I had said something like my point, like really, it's not only the something like not only to change life, but only but really to save a life.
Yes.
Because you could have been having a bad Thursday, but this podcast could, could have helped you out your. You're not saying you suicidal, but this is
No, but
family.
absolutely.
It helped you with your, being suicidal. It's like, okay, this
Pulls you
podcast.
out.
Yeah, you saved my life this Thursday. Even though I wish I would have did the same with this guy, but I got to move on. But it taught me a lesson. Like, okay, really, I need to take this podcast more serious. Like you said, look how many people reached out to me, and I still got a lot more people to get to.
Yeah, no, this could be amazing, and we need more of it for sure.
So so if I can kind of do like a mental health group chat, just come in mental health check in, because I do that. I should do it more on my Facebook. Like I do mental health check ins. Some people reply, then
Absolutely.
a lot of people reply. So yeah, I feel like this. I feel like because of you and these other people, y'all can really help me through it, and I can help y'all through it. It's like and y'all be the reason why I keep doing this podcast along with God.
That's amazing.
Yes. So I was wondering, you have anything else that you like to share? I mean, we hitting the time mark right now, but I mean, if you got anything else to share,
No, I think that was good. I think that was a fun hour of conversation and kind of getting to know each other and hopefully getting the word out of, the different levels of depression, and you got to surround yourself with people that can help lift you up.
Okay. Oh, I just want to apologize to you and my audience. Like my again with my computer, my laptop. Now I know about me. Now I'm just gonna do it on my tablet. And I'm sorry, I was trying to find better lighting, but I have like a little lighting. I forgot what you call it, like a little stand with the light. I gotta
Oh
get
yeah, the
yeah,
ring
yeah.
light.
Ring light, because I was doing modeling at the time, trying to do videos, but I got to get another ring light. So I'm sorry for moving the tablet around, but I appreciate you, your
No
patience, and all
problem.
that. And whenever you're ready to be another guest, I would love to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
All right, we'll keep in touch. God bless you, and I
God
hope
bless you.
you and your husband do great in y'all journey and keep on
Thank you.
doing better. All right, good night.
All right. Good night. Take care.
All right, you
Bye.
too.